Hello friends and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be explaining about the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. If you stay with me till end of this lecture, I assure you that all your basic concept related to this topic will be very much cleared. As you know that hypersensitivity is basically enhanced increased immune response against an antigen. And basically there are four types of hypersensitivity: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. And I will be talking about type 1 hypersensitivity in this reaction, that is also called as allergy. Before going to the pathophysiology, first of all let me tell you that some basic things you must know. In the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, the antibody that is involved is IgE antibody. Only IgE. We know that there are 5 types of antibodies: IgE, A, D, M and G. So only IgE antibodies are involved in type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. And the cells that are involved in type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, they are mast cell or basophil cells, you can say, because these cells basically have receptors for IgE. So obviously if IgEs are involved, only these cells can be involved. Other cells cannot be involved because they will not be having receptor for IgE. The patient who show IgE or type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, they are basically called as atopic individuals, and this state is called as atopy. Atopy is a state in which there is an increased production of IgE antibody. The individual who show increased IgE production because of any mutation, they are basically atopic individual and they show type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. In this case, instead of antigen, we will be using the word allergen. Instead of antigen, we will use allergen word for the antigen. Allergen can be any substance that is harmful for some of the individuals, but for rest of the individuals it's quite safe, it's not harmful. So those substances are called as allergens. For example, pollen, it can cause allergic reaction in some individuals, but some individuals do not show any allergic reactions to pollen, so it's allergen. Similarly, pesticides, it shows some allergic reaction to some individuals, but it does not show any reaction to other individuals. So this is also called a allergen. If we talk about the clinical manifestation, what's clinical symptoms appear in this type of hypersensitivity reaction is basically urticaria, like itching and scratching on the skins, breathing difficulty, redness, swelling of that particular area, edema, accumulation of fluid in tissue is called as edema, and GIT symptom which include diarrhea and vomiting etc. Okay, now how these symptoms will appear and what is the pathophysiology behind these symptoms, each and everything will be discussed. You need to stay with me till end of this lecture. First of all, for example, allergen has been exposed. Allergen can enter in our body through inhalation. Most specifically it enter into in our body inhalation through the lungs. It can enter in our body from oral route, or it can enter directly from the damaged skin into the tissue or blood. So for example, allergen has been entered in our body, and these are the allergens. Once they have entered in our body and they have reached in the tissue, either in the lungs, either in the GIT, either in the skin, they have reached at a specific tissue. We know that at the tissue, antigen presenting cells are present. APCs, antigen presenting cells, are there, like macrophages, B cells and dendritic cells. They are the these three are the antigen presenting cells. Okay, what will happen? These allergens will be phagocytosed by the APCs. They will be taken in, ingested, phagocytosed by the APCs, and then they will present these antigens on their protein that is called as MHC2. Okay, now what will happen? These APCs along with this allergen and APC, they will go and they will reach to the lymph node. This is a lymph node. They will reach to the lymph node. Inside the lymph node, we know that B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes are present. So this is a macrophage, and here is MHC2, and here is allergen. They have entered into the lymph node. On the lymph node, Th0 or naive T cells will be present. They will attach with these allergen with the help of T cell receptor. They will make bond with the allergen with the help of T cell receptor, and some other interaction will also be required, which includes CD28 and B7. These things have been explained in my previous video. You can go and learn about those. Now, depending upon the allergen, this APC, it will secrete certain kinds of cytokines as well. For example, for the allergen, in the case of allergen, it will release interleukin 4. And when interleukin 4 will act on its receptor on the Th0, this Th0 will be converted into Th2. And similarly, if there is an intracellular pathogen that has been digested and its antigen has been presented, intracellular pathogen like viruses, this APC will release interleukin 12. It will act on the receptors on the Th0, and then Th0 will convert into Th1. Th1 is basically activate the cytotoxic T cells, and it will perform its own function. But Th2 is going to activate the B cells and help in producing the IgE antibody. Let's see how. The Th2 cells, for example, these allergens, they have been moved through the lymphatic vessels inside the lymph node as well. Now the some allergens have also reached itself in the lymph nodes. Now inside the lymph node, we know that there are B cells. There are B lymphocytes or B cells. B cells, they will also take in these allergen, and they will express these allergen on their MHC2, because in the previous I have told you that APC include macrophages, B cells and dendritic cells. The T cell, Th2, it will make bond with the help of T cell receptor with the allergen, and it will release certain cytokines, interleukin 4, 5, 10, 13, and basically interleukin 4 and interleukin 13 that are produced more in the atopic individual or allergic individuals. These interleukin 4 and 13, when they will act on these B cells, then this B cell will differentiate into certain plasma cells or memory cells. Plasma cells or memory cells. Memory B cells, plasma B cell. Plasma B cells are active. They will start producing antibodies at the spot. Memory B cells, they will stay and they will wait for the next exposure. Now what will happen? These plasma cells, they will start producing antibodies. But as I have explained, that this interleukin 13 and interleukin 4, they help the B cell to produce more IgE antibody. So in this case, these B cells, they will be producing IgE antibodies. Then these antibodies, with the help of blood and lymphatic vessels, they will reach to the site of tissue. With the help of blood, and they will reach to the site of tissue. Clear? Now let's see how these antibodies act in the tissue, and they will show certain kind of symptom which include breathing difficulty and all these things. This is a tissue, and inside the tissues lots of mast cells are present. Their mast cells are present in our body in a very huge number. So when the antibodies will come and they will attach on these mast cell receptors that are called as FCER. FCER, receptor for FC portion of E antibody, IgE antibody. FC portion, we know that this is Fab portion and this is FC portion. FC portion basically attached with the receptor, and Fab portion will attach with the antigen or allergen. Now once these antibodies have been attached on the mast cell, the mast cell will be called as sensitized. This mast cell will be called as sensitized. Sensitized. So this will happen in the first exposure. Antibodies has been produced and has been attached on the mast cell. Now for example, there is a second exposure, and in the second exposure again allergen enter inside the tissue. They have been entered inside the tissue. Once they have been entered inside the tissue, obviously this time these antibodies was basically against these allergen. Initially these antibodies have been produced against these allergens. Okay, and now these allergens has come again. It means these antibodies have the tendency to bind with these antigens because they were produced against these antigens, these allergens. Now these allergen, when they will come and they will attach on the Fab portion, and they will cause a cross-linking of two antigen. Cross-linking, they need to cross-link for the activation. Once the cross-linking of antigen will be taken place, certain things are going to happen. One, with the intracellular signaling, an enzyme phospholipase A will be get activated. When there is a cross-linking of allergen with the IgE antibodies, with the help of intracellular signaling, phospholipase A enzyme will get activated, and furthermore, with the help of intracellular signaling, the pre-formed granules inside the mast cell. The mast cells have certain granules already present in the body, and inside these granules certain types of substances like histamine is also present. So these preformed granules, they will be released. Now these preformed granules, they will be released, and these preformed granules include, let me write, histamine, tryptases, and some proteoglycans, for example heparin and kinase, etc. Now these substances that were present inside the granules, they will release in the tissue after the second exposure. When the second exposure will come and allergen will attach, it means these histamines and all these substances will release in the second exposure, not in the first exposure. In the first exposure only the antigen will be attached and the mast will become sensitized. Now next time when allergen will again come, they will cause the release of these substances and the activation of this enzyme.